In every walk with nature, one receives far more than he seeks. That was said by a guy called John Muir, who's recognised as the guy who founded the national parks in America. And national parks belong to all of us. They're owned by the taxpayer. They're managed by a company, in this case Coillte, and we're here at Curraghchase National Park on the outskirts of Limerick City in Kilcornan on the N69. And it is truly a mind-blowing place to visit. So as I said, this is Curraghchase National Park. It's in Kilcornan in County Limerick. And there's a very brief history of what's here. It's 300 hectares currently managed by Coillte. And that is what remains of Curraghchase House. Can't you just imagine what it was like in its heyday with all those magnificent windows, the lights inside and the grandeur of it. And look at the stonework, isn't it truly amazing? And as we wheel around, we'll have a look at what the owners of Curraghchase would see when they would wake up in the morning. You know, we can only imagine what it would be like to do that. But what is here? Well, there's loads of walks. There's an arboretum. There's a picnic area, trails that you can follow. They're all on the website, on the Coillte website, on the Curraghchase website. You can download. They have QR codes here, there, and everywhere. So you scan the QR codes and you follow a map, cycling and walking. If you're interested in archaeology, there's also archaeology here, as I said. The playground, and there's a pet cemetery as well. There's a lake, as we're looking here down to in front of us, and it goes over to our left, where there are ducks and drakes and geese that you can feed. Just be careful with them because they can be a bit salty. In the far distance there, just a nod to my own home place, is Knockfearne. You can see it there. That's the little hill on the left hand side, and that's where I'm from. So when I, as a young boy, used to go up to Knockfearne, I could see Curraghchase National Park. Now that tree in front there with the drooping look is called Fagus sylvatica pendula, and it's just a weeping beech. So as we're standing there looking at it, it's at least, I would imagine, 15, maybe 16, 17 meters in height. But it's a really glamorous looking tree, and it grows the same habit as the ordinary beech does. There is a variety of this one that has got purple leaves, and that's even more spectacular, especially in the sun, when you get the sun kind of shimmering off the purple leaf, or the mauve, or whatever colour they are, leaves. But yeah, huge. Again, not for the small garden, but now this little tree that we're walking towards here is an interesting tree. It's called Metasequoia glyptostroboides, and that's the botanical name of it. And it's a first cousin of giant redwoods, which are sequoia, and these ones here, the Metasequoia, are native to China and are an endangered species of plant, because in their native habitat they're endangered. Of course, you're not going to be planting this into your garden. This will grow to about 115 meters, something like that. So, it just won't happen. But the sequoias and the sequoiadendrons are different to Metasequoia, because the Metasequoia are actually deciduous. So they have a lovely autumn, kind of a bronzy autumn colour. They look vaguely familiar, but the Metasequoia, the one that we're looking at now, has an autumn brown tinge to it, whereas the others are evergreen. The sequoia and the sequoia dendron, their first cousins, are evergreen. But this one here, Metasequoia glyptus rhyboides, an endangered plant, and it's great to see Coillte and people having the foresight to plant these trees, because there isn't too many places you will see them. Now we walk down this, this little avenue as we walking back actually towards the house, and these trees on the left and the right are yews. They're Irish yews. Taxus baccata is the Latin binomial name of them, and they're very common, and particularly in graveyards for some reason, and they make the most magnificent hedge if you've got a hedge of them. They're slow to mature. They do take about 50 years to reach full maturity, so they're a very slow growing plant, and yes, they are poisonous, particularly the seed and the flesh around the seed. So, but if you're stupid enough to go eating it, then there's an argument out there that maybe you deserve to get a little bit of an upset tummy. So the interesting thing about these ones is that they are a particular variety called Taxus baccata fastigiata, and a fastigiate plant, or fastigiata, has an upright growth habit. And the really interesting thing about all these plants is that they are all from one single solitary plant that was found in Florence Court in County Fermanagh in north of Ireland. And I don't know who it was that found what they call a sport. And a sport is a mutant that sometimes just appears on a plant. And so it could be maybe a different coloured flower or a different shaped leaf or something. And all these plants, all these yews, come originally from that one tree in County Fermanagh. Isn't that fascinating? Fascinating indeed. So I'm just going to bring you up here to see a feature. It's not a plant. It's not anything that's growing. It was purely 100% man-made. But when you get to the top, it's rewarding. Now, it's not wheelchair friendly. You can see that, and it's like something out of a scene in Lord of the Rings, to be honest. And look at the roots, the way they're growing out through the rocks, and it's really spectacular. And again, up here in this little outcrop in front of Curraghchase House is a crop of trees, a thicket of trees. Again, for the most part, native or naturalised trees. And at the top, you're greeted with this magnificent specimen of a Celtic cross, dedicated to Sir Aubrey de Vere, of the de Vere family, who owned Curraghchase House. And look at that. And imagine when that went up there. There was no cranes, it was all done by hand. And of course we have the idiots out with their crayons, scribbling on it. But anyway, and this is what greets you when you get here. Isn't that just breathtaking, really? And again, to reiterate the fact that, and that house was in its heyday and there was lights on and it was inhabited and there was life up there. It must have been a truly spectacular sight just to sit up here and watch the world go by. I'm down at the bottom of the rocky outcrop, and you can see here, there's the lake with the resident ducks, and there's a walk all around that lake, the whole way around, and it's level and it's easy to push a buggy or a wheelchair on it, because I've pushed both over the years. In terms of your own garden, keep an eye out at the plants that are growing closest to the water, because obviously they'll tolerate being near to water. So if you have a water source, or if maybe you have a wet patch in your garden and you can't find anything to grow there, maybe you get some ideas from here. Not necessarily the trees that are here, because they grow quite big, but you get varieties that will be smaller. And I just want to show you, look at the gloss on that holly. Isn't that the most spectacular plant? Look at that. And again, growing almost in permanent shade. So it is almost in permanent shade, but not quite. So we're here at the side of the house, and as you can run side of the house, over here is a headstone, and the headstone is a pet cemetery, and it's where they all bury their pets. And I know some people get a bit overly sentimental about their pets, but only this weekend we lost a dog that we had for 17 years, and I can fully appreciate the importance of pets in people's lives, and it's a beautiful setting for any kind of an animal, or even for yourself to be buried.